You don't control your own mind. Someone else already is. If you want to open your third eye, you must cultivate spiritual power. I will show you many ways that will help you open your third eye. But they all must use this part of the formula. Ruthlessness combined with wholesomeness, a wholesome worldview. If you want to cultivate spiritual power in order to open your third eye, you simply have to resign yourself to the fact that you have to meditate daily. Now, some specific examples on what you can do in order to cultivate spiritual power in order to ultimately open your third eye. Number one is cultivate spiritual power. Number two is avoid like the plague itself, politically correct speech. We have to simply be honest. Who pushes politically correct speech? Only those that want to fool you, or make a fool of you, or bully you, or mercenaries, people that are hired to intimidate, to bully you. And they could just as easily change sides if the price was right. You have to simply have a strong enough mind to choose your own words without being afraid. If someone is a pervert, call them a pervert. If someone is murdering an unborn baby, don't pretend like it's a choice. Unless you want to say, as a society, we have the choice to murder each other. Then, perfectly fine, it's a choice. But if we want to say, no, we don't have the right to murder each other, then let's not pretend. That murdering an unborn baby is anything but that. They have, within a very short time after conception, they have a completely unique, distinct brand of DNA, their own distinct and separate from the mother blood type. A beating heart very soon after conception. The burden of proof is on the murderers to justify their murder, rather than trying to intimidate and fool people into accepting their politically correct words. The next aspect, the next way, the next suggestion for you to open your third eye: erase personal history. This is huge. How many of us define ourselves by what we have done in the past? So important. The wedding day, the graduation day, the day we move to a certain town. These are all things that are unreal. They may have existed once for a brief instant, but then after that, they're all unreal. They're all only figments of your imagination. while we might think of them as milestones in our life, in actuality, they are milestones on the road to perdition. Because they mislead us, they misinform us as to the true nature of our spiritual selves. Jesus said, unless you're willing to leave behind your mother, your father, your spouse, your brother, your sister, if you're not willing to leave these behind, you're not worthy of the kingdom of heaven. Another way you can open your third eye. Detoxify. Detoxify your pituitary gland. Your third eye is associated with your pituitary gland. It's very simple. Don't eat dumb food. It just takes away the spiritual vibration. Eat organic, whole grain, natural, vegan. Does it really take that much intelligence to figure out that tobacco use, alcohol use, drug use, therefore losers? Don't do it. You have a much better destiny. Another idea. It's crucial though. It's crucial. There are ideas. There's many different ways, many different building blocks, but these are crucial. Next, avoid sensuality. The Tao Te Ching in Taoism, it said that the 5 senses are the 5 thieves. It's very essential to retain your procreative liquids. Keep them contained. Use them very sparingly. In the more advanced stages, use them not at all. It has to do with refining these procreative energies into more spiritual energy. Crucial. Another idea. It's very important to cultivate spiritual power. Very simple. Tell the truth. It's very difficult. Sometimes if you tell the truth, you might get fined. You might get fired. You might get fried. Any penalties associated with really telling the truth. So you have to be judicious about what the net worth is going to be of the result of you telling truths that perhaps other people don't want to hear. But there's a lot of spiritual power cultivated from taking a stand. Take a stand. Be a man. Be strong. Think of this. Telling the truth is better than telling a lie. But remaining silent is better than telling the truth. How about that? Remain silent. It's good to learn how to be comfortable with being alone. And the only way to be comfortable with that is to conquer loneliness. The only way to conquer loneliness is to become one with all things. And that is part of the package of opening your third eye, becoming one with all things. Then it's impossible to be lonely, but unless we reach that high vibratory level, we're always going to have to do untoward things in order to alleviate our feelings of loneliness. If you want to conquer loneliness, don't associate with bad people or even seek out for good people. If you want to conquer loneliness, become one with all things. Another way to cultivate spiritual power, to open your third eye. You have to exercise, but scientifically. Certain exercises really help you spiritually and some don't. Things like martial arts really help you because you're learning how to concentrate deeply into one moment, and you concentrate all of your physical and mental and spiritual powers into one moment. Mind, body, spirit, in harmony with intensity. It's good to develop skills that require aim, like archery or billiards, or even shooting free throws with a basketball. Things that require a great deal of purposeful concentration and indifference at the same time. That formula, balance of yin and yang, has to do with indifference and purpose being united. And skills such as archery or billiards require a great deal of indifference as well as concentration. Singing is great. Singing or chanting. Singing positive songs, not negative songs. Like rap music is all negative. Just the quality of the music itself, regardless of the words, the quality of the music itself is very low vibration. Sing wholesome melodies with wholesome ideas, spiritual ideas. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To reach the unreachable star. Forgive me. It's fun, regardless of how good my voice is. It raises my spiritual vibration, even if my voice is no good. And the same for you. Making an effort with a great deal of commitment is beneficial regardless of the quality of your voice. How about this? Next idea. You have to embrace absurdity. What does that mean? Instead of always trying to do things correct, there's a wrong way to do things, which leads to trouble. There's a right way of doing things, which makes your life better. But there's a better way than that, and it's called embracing absurdity. Which means that if you always try and do the right thing, that can be very egotistical. Embracing absurdity means that you're willing to go beyond right and wrong. Not in an unwholesome way, but it's just simply realizing that even if we try and do things right all the time, that's still very egocentric. So, how about this? A poem. It's called Insane Simon. It has to do with embracing absurdity for spiritual benefit. Simon always pronounces the L in salmon. He chewed on his toothbrush all day long, ate one pea at a time, feast or famine, just to prove what witless people say wrong. So he changed his underwear to outer, sang quite well during supper consumption. Of the most ludicrous opinions was a touter for to make people choke on their presumption. When conversing, he would grab at unseen flies while quoting the most venerable saint, seemingly with sanity, breaking all ties. Don't eat it! Who needs sanity? Seemingly with sanity, breaking all ties. Secretly hoping that someone would faint. He was a master who would make people think their lives to be fraudulent and wasted, then showing them how to remove the kink obstructing the spiritual bliss he had tasted. Now to some very practical ways. After we've built up spiritual power, now what are some very tangible ways of opening the third eye? Of course, we've been preparing ourselves so that our meditation can be more effective. Now, I'll offer you 2 meditation techniques. Try this. This is called purifying the lower realm. The lower realm is located in the first and second chakra down low on the spine and the genitals. And this is called the lower realm. In order to purify this, we can do this motion. The lower realm is when we're obsessed with people, events, and things. Too much socializing. As we inhale, slowly expand the lower stomach, then the upper chest as the hands move like this. Very gentle, very soft the hands are. We inhale slowly, hold breath with our hands just at the heart chakra level. Hold breath, concentrate on the energy field right below our hands in the circle our hand motion just created. We hold breath 4 or 5 seconds and then we exhale and bring the hands back. Very softly, very slowly. We're trying to work on slow breathing. Work on this so your motion and breath gets slower and slower and slower. So we do this purification of the lower realm 3 times. Inhale, hold breath. Exhale 3 times. Then after that, we do what's called breath of fire. Breath of fire 100 times. Then we splash the third eye with energy. Inhale, stomach, lower stomach first. Then upper chest, as if splashing the face with a wave of spiritual energy. Inhale, hold breath with the fingertips close to the third eye. You can turn your eyeballs upward. Even if your eyes are closed, turn the eyeballs upward. Hold breath, as long as you can comfortably without strain. 5, 10 seconds. And then exhale, bring the hands down like this, spiritualizing the whole torso. And we do that 3 times. Inhale slowly. I'm doing it fast for your benefits, not for mine. Hold breath and exhale. And 1 last time, a 3rd time. Inhale slow this time. Now we do a combination of thumping, tapping, and knocking. Thymus gland, we can stimulate that by thumping on it. The one hand will be down like this, the other hand will do the thumping, the tapping, and the knocking. 1 slow inhale for all of these strikes. It will be thumping the thymus 30 times, and then tapping the third eye 30 times, and then knocking on the crown chakra 30 times, all with the same inhale, and then inhale the last bit that we have and hold breath with the hands in this large chi ball. As we exhale from here, the hand will go forward and then down and then return to the lower tan tien. So that looks like this. The base hand, the striking hand, and getting ready to inhale very slowly for 90 strikes. After we do that, then we go back to the breath of fire 100 times. And then we repeat the process. 100 breaths of fire. Splash the face 3 times. And then the 90 strikes. So the process at that point, no more purifying the lower realm. We only needed to do that once. Of course, on your own personal practice, you can do it as much as you want. But the idea here is to do the breath of fire, do the splashing the third eye, and then do the striking, 90 strikes. That's the rhythm. And then we can do that as long as we want. I would simply do it until my third eye was open, and then I would proceed to more profound meditations, which will bring us to our last exercise. That will be simply meditation. The meditation I will describe is very potent, very ancient, very ego-denying, and extraordinarily insightful. It could be called insight meditation. I simply call it neti, neti. Not this, not this. We gaze at the very thought that enters our mind's eye. No matter how horrible or noble it is, we have the same reaction. We say, not this, not this. This is not ultimate reality. I throw you away as being unimportant. Here is where ruthlessness really has to be applied. Every single thought simply, we realize, is obstructing our view of our true self, ultimate reality, God. So we go deep to the very foundation of the entrance of the thought. And we say, not you, not this, not this. And we continue. It's as if we are splitting an atom and releasing incredible spiritual power. How liberating it is to accept that every thought is expendable. God is no respecter of persons. I hope you find this exercise, this variety of exercises, beneficial. God bless you. Namaste.